so maybe Princess and the Bellboy. Just because I have memories of Mom taking us.
I've actually seen that film. It's actually,
You have?
Yeah. I love Robert Osborne. I watched TCM all the time.
So he was
they were
so
really
kind.
close friends.
He was your friend?
No, he was really close friends with your mother.
Yes, he was a lovely man. He's done a few things on television about her, and they're all so kind. And he passed away shortly after the interview for this movie, and I don't know if you noticed, it was partially dedicated to him at the end, but he was a wonderful man. You have to excuse me, this is a really sad movie for me. It's hard to be objective, because it's so emotional, and it just continues to build, and by the poem in the end, I'm like, oh my, I have to get up and speak.
I mean, the question in the audience, here we go.
I don't think you need to be objective at all. Fuck the government. I mean, that's bullshit that they did not pay your mom. I mean, it's so frustrating. Your mother was so amazing and wonderful, and I'm so just enthused by this film, and it just encourages me to know more about her and to hopefully hope that other amazing stories about women that have been buried by history come forth. And I just thank you for your courage, and I'd really like to know how the whole film came about.
Well, it's a pretty long story, but thank you for your wonderful comments. And the wonderful thing is not the film, but words, the rumors are coming to the surface about this. And little girls are writing me from all over. I'm doing a science project on your mom, and they're so cute. So it's really nice that with women's empowerment, this is like right along. It's very timely. The movie, I usually don't like to jump on board with all the heady stuff because I'm not a showbiz person. I like to be private. But my brother said, if you don't come on board, it's going to look like you're not supporting Mom. I'm like, he said it's for PBS. I went, PBS? That's good. And he said, the woman that's making it is really nice. She called me, and we had an instant connection. She was a lovely person, and I could tell that it wouldn't be controversial and, you know, like all the bad stuff coming out. I could tell that she was intelligent and kind, so because it was PBS and because I liked Alex so much, not too much in it, but came on board like at the end, and I think it's a tremendous movie. And I think Alex did a wonderful job. She's only like 38 years old. Hi.
Thanks for being here. I have two questions. The first question is, it seems like at some point in your life, your grandmother was helping to raise you, and I'm curious, oh, she wasn't? Because it sounded like your mother was paying her to watch you, or no?
No. Granny worked, and when Mom worked, we were sent off to boarding schools. I mean, from little. And in the summer, we went to summer camps, because Mom just couldn't deal with, what did she say? I can't handle the aggravation. So we were shipped off constantly. So we didn't know our dad, and we missed our Mom all the time. But when she moved to Houston, that's when we were together most of the time. But then when she divorced him and had a nervous breakdown, we were sent off to boarding school again. So we didn't really, the only stable home was the Beverly Hills Hotel, because every time she divorced somebody, we'd come back to the Beverly Hills Hotel. We used to run around the halls like kids, and we knew every employee there. It was quite a, so that to me is home, that beautiful old pink hotel.
My second question was, sorry, it'll come to me 1 second.
I know how you feel.
Oh yes, now I remember. Did she raise you to be a scientist? Was that part of her life prominent in the times that you actually had with her?
I knew she was brilliant, and I knew she was charming. And to me, she was an artist, not a scientist. I never saw a science table or anything like that. I saw her painting and drawing, and I'm an artist now, and I got that from her. But I did not know really. Once she told me, I think it's a part in the movie, she said, I invented this anti-rocket missile device, and I'm like, you what, Mom? And it just like okay, Mom's just having one of her little episodes. So I didn't believe it, and this scientist called me and said, we're publishing this, magazine with her on the cover, and I called Mom and I said, oh my God, you really did invent that. She goes, I kept telling you. So it just, for me, it was pretty hard to, just like for everybody kind of, it's like, this face invented that, but to me it wasn't her face, it was just my mom. And we pretty much talked about normal mother-daughter stuff, like, what are the girls wearing in school, and as we got older, like, don't let your hair get gray, and things that just mothers and daughters talk about. I don't think most people ask their parents the important questions until they're gone and it's too late, but luckily I've had all the questions answered by Alex.
Any other questions?
With most inventors, the one thing that drives them is curiosity. And your mother exhibited that at a very, very young age when she took apart her music box and put it back together. But in modern times, you hear kids taking apart radios and putting it back together. But I've worked with a couple of inventors, and the one thing that I was amazed with was how their curiosity drove their minds, and how their minds were able to work physically with things that we only imagine.
She was curious, that I know, but I didn't see how it was implemented, not in our day-to-day lives.
Well, she was a very private woman about her inventions. And it was perfectly obvious from her trying to get paid for it, but not being disappointed about not being paid.
What can you do? I mean,
Yeah.
somebody asked me in New York at the premiere, is it too late for you to get some reimbursement or compensation? And yeah, the answer is yeah, it's too late apparently. My husband said, oh my God, if that would have happened, I would never have met you. Because you would have been off in Paris or something, not Seattle, so. Certainly changed my life, but that's okay.
But it's continuing to change our lives also.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She passed away in 2000. What do you think she would think of now with Wi-Fi GPS being so prevalent and literally connecting everyone in the world?
Well, she'd be amazed, but you won't believe it. When .coms just started coming out and they would have ads on TV, or look us up at www, and she's like, what is all this bibbly bop www bop? She did not have any patience for the new technology, amazingly enough. So I don't think either one of us knew that it was her invention that was at the basis of it, but she got quite annoyed with all of the new technology that was just recently coming out, like right before she died. I have to say, we've had a great time visiting Nashville, y'all.
Well, it's mostly just a statement. The scene at the Vienna Symphony on New Year's 2000. It was very early in my father's dementia, and he called me and he said, "Oh, are you watching it? They've got the Vienna Symphony on."
Oh.
And I was like, "No, Dad, but I'll put it right on."
I mean, New Year's Eve of the millennium? Your father called you?
He did.
Oh my God.
It was very early in his dementia. And so seeing that tonight, it just really brought it all back. And I just wanted to thank you. Because I
Don't
miss
make
him.
me cry again. That's amazing.
Yeah, I miss him so much. He's been gone 7 years, but I still miss him every day.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I have one more question in the back there.
Tell us about your learning that you were Jewish.
Oh, God. I don't know who I'm talking to.
interested in whether your mother shared anything about her Jewishness and when you learned that you were Jewish. Or are
Okay, this is a good one. She denied it. Well, I was raised in the Church of England. I was baptized there. I was married by the same priest that baptized me, went to Sunday school, blah, blah, blah. It would be like somebody telling you at age 72, well, you're really Christian. You're not Jewish. So, how do I feel? It was, I started hearing people, fans and people that were talking to me about Hedy projects or things about Hedy, said, you know, she was Jewish, and I'm like, no, I don't know. So I call Mom and say, Mom, all these people are saying that we're Jewish. And I said in the thing, she would say, don't be ridiculous. So it kind of ticked me off, like these people are gonna tell me who I am, and Mom herself is telling me what she is. I mean, who am I gonna believe? But I heard so much and started thinking, maybe there's something to this. And Alex Dean, when she was doing her incredible research for this movie, came up with letters. They were all in German, so nobody knew what they were. And I think she showed one about telling Granny to come quickly and, you know, get out of England and get here as soon as you can. And at the bottom it said, and become Catholic for me. So that was the first thing, in Mom's own words, that something was fishy here. And then Alex Dean came up with her father, who she adored, his death certificate, and on the bottom it said Israel or Israelite or something. Obviously I finally know. So I grew up in Beverly Hills and have had Jewish friends all my life, but it wasn't my upbringing, so I'm open to it, I love it. It's hard to feel I just trying to be open to it and more aware of things that I see that, you know, about the wars, and so I am embracing it, but it's still a bit strange. But I know my father was British, Church of England, but I guess that just means that I'm totally Jewish, right? So my daughter said, well, then I'm totally Jewish, because if you're totally Jewish and you're my mother, then, so it's kind of a joke in our family. So she'll call me up and say, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever the holiday is. I don't even know the holidays, I'm sorry. But, so we enjoy it. Better late than never. Right here. No wonder rock stars wear sunglasses. Or country western stars, sorry.
I'm curious about your adopted brother. After the divorce, who raised him? And how old was he when he went off to school? And do you have a relationship with him at all?
Well, I didn't even know he existed for a long time till I saw the picture. They had the wrong picture. Anyway, Mom just would not talk about him. It was kind of like, are we Jewish? She just brushed it off, and it wasn't until I was like a teenager that I realized, who is this boy in some of these pictures? And she brushed it off and said he was an adoption that didn't work out. Then I talked to a gentleman that worked for us, and he kind of explained that Jimmy was a troublemaker and he got in trouble, and he went off with the coach and wife from the military school. And one time I asked Mom, how can you get rid of a child and not let them come back? Because he wanted to come back, and she wouldn't even speak to him. So that part, I didn't know he existed. It's like things were strange. It wasn't a normal life. I know nobody's had a normal life, but this one really. There was extreme good and extreme not so good. But like I said, you grow up and you understand that people do the best they can. And I truly believe that all the drugs the studio system gave all the stars, the speed to get them up at 5 a.m. She hated getting up early. Now I hate to get up early. And the sleeping pills to bring them home and get them to sleep so they can get up early and start again. That started it. Now many stars of that generation, like Judy Garland and Lana Turner and people like that. They're all kind of erratic behavior, and I think they were victims of the system. And then the whole Miracle Max drug dealer in New York. I thank God I never went along with her, because she really wanted me to go get these vitamin B shots, but I'm like, no. I can't even remember the question now.
The second part was, do you have a relationship with him?
No, I went through all my pictures. Actually, we went to that gentleman who worked for Mom. And he had all these pictures that he, from working with her, that she'd probably given him. And there were beautiful pictures of Jimmy with Mom. They were publicity pictures, big ones. Looked like for Life magazine. So I got them all from this guy Neil, that was kind of a father figure to us, and I sent them all to Jimmy. I don't think he had any pictures of his childhood. And then after Mom died, Jimmy sued us, saying he was a biological child. And so after that all settled down, I insisted on DNA from my brother Anthony and Jimmy and me, and zero chance, he's not biological. But anyway, no, I don't. We send each other Christmas cards every year. My brother's met him, but I don't really feel a connection. But I think it's extremely sad, his whole life. And there were other sad things that happened to him after he grew up as well. So we keep in touch.
All right, we have time for one more question. Right in the back. Hi.
There wasn't much of a family. There were no, actually my grandmother had 2 brothers and they went to South America. But other than that, I don't know of any relatives. I never had an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or a father or grandfather. So it was just Mom, Granny, and my brother and me. So I don't know. I don't think there was anybody left. I never heard about anybody. That's a good question.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your Denise Loder-DeLuca.